All right, today I'm going to show you how to add a printer, specifically the new Ricoh printer up in the library. And also I want to show you what I'm using, which is called Screencastify. It's an extension you can load if you just search Screencastify extension in your Chrome browser. And then you can record your screen and it'll save it. You can set it up to save to your Google Drive and share videos. So it's a great way to show students what you're doing on your screen if you want to do a quick tutorial. It's been pretty successful for me. And if you have any problems with Screencastify, just let me know. But there it is, Screencastify, and I'm recording right now. But I'm going to go and use a different window, so I'm going to minimize this window and hide it. First of all, I'm going to use Internet Explorer, and I'm going to go to bvsd.org to add the printer. And one thing you need to do is make sure that you sign in. So right now, if I click on the quick links, there's no add printer because I'm not signed into the website. So you have to sign in as a district employee to get into the network for the printers. And let me preface this by saying if you have a Mac computer, you're not going to be able to add this printer. It's not set up for Macintosh. There is one in the school, and I would just put in an IT ticket if you need to get a printer set up for the Mac, like laptops. So I'm going to click sign in, and now I should see my name right there in the upper corner. And now when I go to quick links, I can go to my printer add change. I'm going to choose Centennial Middle, so whatever school you're in. So we're in Centennial. And I don't know why they have this window that says don't use, but I'm not going to use it. I don't know why they don't just delete it. So I'm going to click on the Windows 7 New. And again, I'm in Internet Explorer because it'll just run the printer when I add it. Now the printer I'm going to add is the the Library Ricoh. So it says room 310, Library Ricoh. That's the new one. And it just says working there. So I'm going to click on that. And then it'll ask me, and I'm going to click run. You're going to see a little IP address, and then I should see some files copying over soon. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Maybe it won't, so sometimes it just adds the printer. Now I'm going to check that the printer is on, and I'm also going to delete an old printer that is no longer here. So to find my printers, I'm going to go down the bottom corner, and I'm going to click on Devices and Printers. So I click my little Start menu there. And I'm just going to verify that that Library Ricoh is added, and there it is. And it's also set for my default printer because it was the last one added. Now I have another one that's called 310 Library Circ Samsung. That printer is no longer available, so it says error there. So I'm going to delete that printer. So how you delete a printer is you just right-click on the printer and just say Remove Device. And I'll say, are you sure? Yes. And that'll disappear. Now, I don't want the Ricoh to be my default. It is a handy printer because you don't need to put in a passcode or anything. It'll just print right away. But if you're doing larger jobs, I really recommend using the workroom one. So I'm going to make that my default, and then I can choose a Library Ricoh later. So I'm going to right-click again on the printer I want and set it as default printer. And then just the workroom Ricoh. And you should see a little green checkbox. The last thing I would do is test your printer. I like to use Microsoft Word just because it's easy to get into. I know how to use it. You could also test it from a Google Doc. And when I do a test print, I'm just going to create a new document. And I like to just write in testing, library, printer, and then I'd say from my room, 300 or 305. You're going to click on print and make sure you choose. So right now it's going to default to the workroom. I'm going to make sure I choose the Library Ricoh and then click print. Now, the other thing is when you use Microsoft Word, it's going to think you want to go to that Ricoh next time library. So you want to make sure that you choose workroom and your default there. So print, and then I would just come down the library and make sure it works. The library printer is right next to the checkout desk. So I just double check that it's checked and printed, and then you are good to go. So I hope this screencast was useful for you, and sayonara.